Assalamualaikum. This is Sajnin Jahan from University Selangor, ComNet organization, that is Center for Community Engagement. Today we have organized a free training session of ICT training based on how to create a website using Bootstrap. So today basically I will teach on overall interaction on PHP, which I have used in the Bootstrap website for creating the database. From University Selangor, ComNet organization, that is Center for Community Engagement. Here we have organized a free training session of ICT training based on how to create a website using Bootstrap. I'm very glad that my organization, ComNet Center for Community Engagement, has organized this free training session for the students of IT background. And I would like to welcome all of our participants who have joined this training session. Now, our director of ComNet, who has organized this training session, has sent us a welcoming speech. So let's hear from him.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to the organizer who have tried to organize ICT training. Let's design a website using Bootstrap. First of all, I would like to express my congratulations to our beloved instructor, Ms. Sajnin Jahan, who is very committed to provide training module to make sure this program success. To the participant who took the time to follow this training, hopefully you'll be able to learn new and useful knowledge, inshallah. And on behalf of University Selangor, UNISEL, especially our unit, Center for Community Engagement, ComNet, we would like to say our commitment in community education so that more children, youth, and also senior citizens can explore new knowledge and do something for their community. So from this event, from this program, we really hope that you can apply to your own community, your own organization or society to develop their own website, inshallah. So finally, I wish you a happy study and see you again in the future. I hope you enjoy to learn about programming using Bootstrap. Inshallah, Ms. Sajnin will teach you, will guide you. If you have any question or problem, you just ask Ms. Sajnin. They will help you, inshallah.
Thanks to our director of Comnet for his valuable welcoming speech. So we will start soon when all the participants will join here.
Yes, sure.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so I think we can start now. So today basically is our third session, that is the basic of PHP and design the database. So basically today I will teach based on the PHP module, which I have used to develop the Bootstrap website. So in the Bootstrap, for the database section, I have created the database using PHP. So basically today my teaching will be based on the PHP. So we can start now. So what is actually the programming language? Before we go to the PHP module, first of all, I would like to provide a brief description about the programming language. So basically, a programming language is a computer language programmers use to develop software programs, scripts, or other sets of instruction for computer to execute. Although many languages share similarities, each has its own syntax. Once a programmer learns the language's rules, syntax, and structures, they write the source code in a text editor or IDE. Then the programmer often compiles the code into machine language that can be understood by the computer. So how many types of programming language we have? We have different types of programming language. If you are interested in developing a program, then you have to use C programming, C#, C++, Java, Python, Prolog, Laravel. If you are interested in creating or maintaining a database, consider any of the following language like Fox Pro, MySQL, SQL, Visual Fox Pro, Firebase, MongoDB. So Firebase and MongoDB database is actually the NoSQL based database. It's a cloud storage database. You don't have to use your memory, your PC, or your device to store the database. It will automatically store in the cloud storage. And if you are interested in creating web pages, internet applications, or other internet related tasks, will following these languages like HTML, Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python. So why actually we should learn HTML, CSS, or PHP? Basically, actually we have to, basically this code will allows you to bring out your personality on your own website, enables you to stand out from the for any project better, and helps you to understand and explore other languages, and provides you with an opportunity to transition into different careers. So basically that's why we should learn HTML, CSS, and PHP for developing our skill, for developing your skill. And so now we will go to the introduction of PHP. So what is actually PHP? PHP is basically is a server scripting language and a powerful tool for making dynamic and interactive web pages. PHP is widely used, free and efficient alternative to competitors such as Microsoft ASP. PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor, and PHP is a widely used open source scripting language. PHP scripts are also executed on a server, and it's actually free to download and use. And PHP is an acronym for Hypertext Processor. And what is actually the PHP file? PHP files can contain text, HTML, JavaScript code, and PHP code. And PHP code are executed on a server, and the result is returned to the browser as plain HTML. PHP files have a default file extension of .php. So when you code your in the text editor, when you code or when you write a code for the PHP, database or something like that, or to creating a website, when you use the PHP, so you must have to save the file into .php. Otherwise it will not show the PHP documentation. And what can actually PHP do? PHP can generate dynamic page content. PHP can create, open, read, write, and close files on the server. PHP can collect form data. PHP can send and receive cookies. PHP can add, delete, modify data in your database. PHP can restrict user to access some pages on your website. PHP can encrypt data. So basically, that's how PHP can do for the programmers or for the developer. Now we'll talk about that why actually PHP we should use PHP. Why? PHP basically runs on various platforms like Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, etc. And PHP is compatible with uh, with almost all servers that used today. And PHP supports a wide range of databases. It's free, and you can download it from the official PHP resource, that is www.php.com. and PHP is easy to learn and runs efficiently on the server side. You can take a look on www.php.com. That's easy to learn more on the PHP and you can run efficiently on the server side. And also you can explore this site to learn PHP. So W3 School is the best website to learn the programming language. So here are so many things like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, colors. Here is you can explore this website to gain more on PHP. So W3 is the one of the popular website for to learn programming language. Okay, so now in this era, now PHP 7 is being used for developing a system. Now programmers and developers are using PHP 7 version, which is the latest version of PHP. PHP 7 is much faster than the previous popular stable release. And PHP 7 has improved error handling. PHP 7 supports stricter type declaration for function arguments, and PHP 7 supports new operation like the spaceship operator like this. So now we will talk about the PHP installation, how we can install the PHP. So what do we need to start using PHP? You can find a web host with PHP and MySQL support. Install a web server on your own PC and then install PHP and MySQL. So basically I'm using XAMPP to do the PHP database. So you first, what you have to do, you just download the XAMPP from the PHPMyAdmin. So in this, to do this Bootstrap website, I have downloaded the XAMPP to store the database for the PHP. So this is the MySQL database. So, okay. So here you have to go to the phpmyadmin.net. So here, if you press here, if you click on there, then it will download. The phpMyAdmin will be download in a while. Then you will see this software to do PHP code. Okay, so this is basically the database where all the database, all the PHP database has been stored here. So here I have created several database to create a system, to store the information to the system. So here, so so this is the new one. When you want to create a new database, so you just click on new, then you put your database name, then create. So after that, the PHP database will be created. After that, you have to code for your database in the text editor. So to do so, I'm using Visual Code Studio to execute my PHP file, to execute my PHP database. Okay, so so if you if your server has activated support for PHP, you do not need to do anything. Just create some .php files, then place them in your web directory, and the server will automatically parse them for you. And you do not need to compile anything or install any extra tools, because PHP is free and most web hosts offer PHP support. However, if your server does not support PHP, you must install a web server, install PHP or phpMyAdmin that I have installed for storing my database. Then install a phpMyAdmin for a database such as MySQL, and the official php.net has installation instruction. You can take a look on there by go to this website. Okay. Okay, so now we'll talk about the PHP syntax. What is actually the PHP syntax? PHP script is executed on a server and the plain HTML result is sent back to the browser. Basic PHP syntax is actually a PHP script can be placed anywhere in the document. A PHP script start with less than symbol and the question mark PHP and ends with question mark and greater than symbol. So basically this is the PHP symbol, PHP attribute. This is the PHP attribute. So this is the attribute of the PHP. So you have to, when you start your code or your database or your program, then you must have to start with this symbol. So this is actually the initial of the PHP tag. This is actually the tag. So this is called the PHP tag. And the default file extension for PHP files is .php. A PHP file normally contains HTML tags and some PHP scripting code. We have an example of a simple PHP file in the next slide. You will see that with a PHP script that uses a built-in PHP function that is echo to output the text hello world on a web page. So basically echo, you have to use the echo to display the content you have stored in the web browser. So echo is actually will display the content in your in the web browser. So this is basically the very basic of the PHP code. So what you have to do to view or to display this my first PHP page, what you have to do, first of all, you need to do the HTML tag. You need to write down the HTML tag, adopt HTML, then HTML tag, then body tag. Then you have to do the heading, because this is the heading 1. So I put here the heading 1 tag. Then to display a PHP program, you have to use this one, greater than, less than, question mark, then PHP, then echo. In the quotation, you will write down the output, what you want to display in the output. So hello world is actually the output of the PHP file. So echo, you have to write down the echo, because echo will display the output. So basically this is the attribute to display the output of the PHP file or PHP code. And then you have to close the body and the HTML to display your content. Yes, PHP is faster than other scripting language, for example, ASP and JSP. Yeah, okay. So most of our participants already knows about PHP. That's pleasure. Okay, so PHP, now we'll talk about the PHP case sensitivity. So in PHP keywords like if, else, while, echo, etc., classes, functions, and others defined functions are not case sensitive because PHP is not case sensitive. In the example below, you can see that all three echo statements below are equal and legal. So here you can see that idoc type HTML, we put here the idoc type HTML, then HTML tag, then body tag, then inside the PHP tag we have our content like to display hello world. So here you can see that three types of hello world, like same, this is the same thing, but you have wrote down here echo all in the capital letter, then the second one all in the small letter, then in the third line all in the capital letter and the small letter. So it doesn't make any differences. So it doesn't make any differences because PHP is not case sensitive. So that's why that will not distract your output. So that after that you have to close the body tag, then HTML tag. So this is how you have to code for the PHP. Okay, so now we will go to our next slide, that is the comments in PHP, how to do the comments. So basically comment in PHP code is a line that is not executed as a part of the program, and its only purpose to be read by someone who is looking at the code. Basically comments can be used to let others understand your code. Most programmers have experienced coming back to their own work a year or two later and having to refigure out what they did. So comments can remind you of what you were thinking when you wrote the code. So PHP supports several ways of commenting. So like this, you can see here. Yes. So this is the comment. So in the green color, this specified the comment section of the PHP. So to do the comment, basically comment is for what? Comment is for to know to inform the others what you have done in your code. So this one. So what you have to do? You have to put the two slash, and then 2/ will indicate that it's a comment. It will not changes anything. It will not changes in your program. It doesn't make any sense basically to your programming language. So basically this is how we have to do the comment in the PHP file. And you can use also hash to comment or to display the comment what you have done in your previous code or in your next line what you are going to do. So basically this is the comment. So this is how you can do your comment. Okay, so now we have the PHP variables. So basically a variable can have a short name like X and Y. So basically PHP has two types of variable, X, Y, or a more descriptive name also PHP has, like age, car name, total, underscore, volume. So this is all the variables. So PHP has different types of variable also. And the rules for variable of PHP is a variable starts with the sign dollar and followed by the name of the variable, and a variable name must start with a letter or the underscore letter, as you see in here. So it PHP variable can start with a letter or underscore character, and a variable name cannot start with a number. So PHP variable name cannot start with a number like 1, 2, 3. Or a PHP name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores like A to Z, 0 to 9, and underscore. And variable names are case sensitive, like dollar age. If you write the dollar and the AAG, this is all in the small letter, and this is AGE, age, it's all in the capital letter. So it's actually two types of variable, although the meaning is same, like age, but it will not consider to a same variable. It will consider to different variable of the PHP file. Yes, PHP can be embedded into HTML. Thanks the participant, those who are sharing their knowledge into our comment section, into our inbox of this Zoom meeting. And remember that PHP variable names are case sensitive. So as you see that dollar age, if you write the age in all small letter, it is the different variable. If you write down your age all in the capital letter, then it will be the other variable, not the same variable, although the meaning is same. Okay. So now we will go on to our next one, that is creating or declaring PHP variables. So how we can declare our PHP variables? Basically creating and declaring PHP variables. In PHP, a variable starts with the dollar sign, as I already explained to you, the dollar sign. So dollar sign basically is the main variable sign for the PHP module, and followed by the name of the variable. So like here, this is an example. Yes, PHP supports several protocols such as HTTP, POP3, SNMP, LDAP. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks to our one of the participants, Shumi Akhtar, who have shared his or her knowledge in our training session. Yes. So here are so many here. Most of the participant knows about the PHP. That's good. Sakib Khan also shared his knowledge in this training session. Okay, so we will move on to our training. So basically here you can see that here I display hey, then hello world, then 10.5. So this is the output. So in here, to display the content into PHP file, into PHP web browser. So what you have to do, first of all, as usual, you have to write your HTML tag, body tag, i.def tag, then you have to start your PHP tag. So this is the PHP tag, less than question mark, then PHP. So inside this tag you have to write your code for the PHP. So basically here you can see that $txt is a variable, then $x is another variable, then $y is the another variable. So this one will display hello world. So this variable will display the hello world. This $x will display 5 output, then $y will display 10.5 output. And this one you can see here is echo $txt. This is for displaying this hello world. So txt is for hello world variable, and then we put the BR tag, that is break tag, to go to the next line, so that the next line will display the 5. So 5 is which variable? 5 is the variable of $x. So to display the $x variable, we have to write echo for $x. Then we again put the BR tag, that is break tag, to go to the next line, because 10.5 I want to display in the next line. So I put here the BR tag. Then I put the echo $y. So echo $y is whose variable? Here. So echo $y is the variable of 10.5. So the 10.5 will be displayed. Then we have to close the PHP tag. So this is the closing tag, question mark, then greater than sign, greater than symbol. Then the body, then you have to close the body tag, then you have to close the HTML tag to display responsibly. So this is how we have to code for the PHP file, for the PHP program. So echo is the most important part, because echo, if you do not write the echo in your PHP file, then that will not display anything. So echo basically for the displaying PHP output. And here, after the execution of the statements above, the variable x, the variable $txt is actually hold the value of the hello world, as I already said, and the variable x, $x will hold the value of 5, and the variable $y will hold the valuable will hold the value 10.5. And if you, there is a note, there is a small note for this: when you assign a text value to a variable, put the quotes around the value. And unlike the other programming languages, and PHP has no command for declaring a variable, so it's created the moment you first assign a value to it. So basically there is no like that PHP command to declaring the variable. So basically this will directly display your content into the text editor or into your web browser. Okay, now we'll talk about the output variables, that is the PHP. So this is the same thing, the like the previous slide. So the PHP echo statement is often used to output the data to the screen, to the web browser. So if I want to display I love Universal ComNet, then what I have to do? I have to write the PHP tag, then inside the quotation, you have to put the specific variable to display the content. So like here we have to code HTML body tag as usual, and then you put the PHP tag. So inside the tag, inside the tag and inside the quotation, you will do the output. You will create the output texting to display the content into your web browser. So here initial ComNet is a value of the $txt variable. So $txt variable will represent or will hold the value of initial ComNet. Then in echo I want to display I love. So you can see that in echo I didn't mention that initial ComNet, but still it is displaying the initial ComNet. So why? Because I put here $txt. The $txt is hold the value of initial ComNet. So that's why you don't need to write down the whole thing. Write down the I love Universal ComNet. If you write down the I love Universal ComNet, that will also display in your web browser. But you could skip this one also. Instead of you could still use the variable like $txt to displaying your output. And then we have the body tag, closing body tag, then the closing body tag for HTML. So basically this is how we can code or we can display the output into our web browser. So this is the this is the important part in the PHP, because you don't need to write the whole line. You just simply mention the echo file, that what is the specific variable. So here the specific variable is universal comnet. So here I am representing universal comnet to $txt. So you just simply write down the $txt to display universal comnet. Okay, so we have now we will talk about the PHP data types, how many types of data types that PHP has. Variables can store data of different types, and different data types can do different things. And PHP supports the following data types, that is string, integer, float, floating points numbers, also called double, boolean, then array, then object, null, resource. So PHP, what is actually PHP string? A string is a sequence of characters like hello world. Hello world is like a string. Then a string can be any text inside quotes, and you can use single or double quotes. Example is on the next slide. So like this is the string. Also we can also say this is a string, PHP string, hello world, hello world. So hello world, the first one represent the first one is the hello world. Second one is the same thing, but we code it the different variable by the different variable. Like the first one, the variable is $x. The second one, the variable is $y. So $y is representing the value of hello world, and $x is representing the value of hello world. And the echo, in the echo is for what? Echo is for the output. Echo is for displaying the output. So echo $x will display hello world. Echo $y will display also the hello world. So this is how we can code the PHP in our web browser, in our text editor. Later on, I will show you how to do the database in PHP. And we have the PHP integer. So in integer data type is a non-decimal number between -2, 147, 483, 648. So basically there are some integer data type in PHP. Okay, so the rules for integer. So basically there are some rules for the integer. An integer must have at least one digit, and an integer must not have a decimal point. An integer can be either positive or negative. So integer can be both. An integer can be specified. Integer can be specified in decimal base 10, hexadecimal base 16, octal base 8, or binary base 2 notation. So that is the integer that can be specified into decimal, hexadecimal, octal, or binary. You can use. So this is the rules for the integer. Yeah, PHP allows us to use a variable without declaring its data type. It can be taken automatically at the time of execution based on the data types of data it contains or its value. Yeah, definitely PHP allows a variable without declaring its data type. So PHP variable can declare without can be without the declaration. So now we will go to the PHP float. So a float, that is for floating point number, is a number with a decimal point or a number in exponential form. And in following example, that is $x is a float. So this is $x is a float because it has the floating attribute, floating file. The PHP the PHP var dump and in bracket function returns the data type and value. So basically to display the floating content like 10.365 or 10 or 15 point something something, to display like this variable, what we have to do, we have to declare a variable that is var dump, var then underscore then dump, and then in the inside the bracket we have to put the variable, which will hold the value of 10.36. In 10.365, here is this is the value of this variable, like $x variable. So to display this one 10.365, we have to declare the variable into this form. So this is the attribute to display the float number, so var underscore dump, inside here you will declare the variable that is $x. Then you will have to close the PHP tag. So this is how the PHP float is working, and then at last you have to close the body tag, you have to close the HTML tag. Then we have the PHP echo and print statement. What I already discussed about the echo, what is actually echo and what is actually echo. Echo is actually the output, to display the output, what the print also does. So print and echo is similar actually, and with PHP there are two basic ways to get output, echo and print. Okay, so in this tutorial we use echo or print in almost every example we have used. So this chapter contains a little more info about those two output statements. So here we have used echo only to display our content. Echo and print are more or less the same. They are both used to output data to the screen, and the differences are small because echo has no return value while print has a return value of 1. So it can be used in expressions, and echo can take multiple parameters, although such uses is rare, while print can take one argument, and echo is marginally faster than print. So echo is more faster than the print. That's why most of the developer or most of the IT students or the developer use to print their output, they use echo to display the content. Yeah, the correct statements. Yeah, one of our participants, that is Tanima Akhtar, asked, how can I get float in PHP? So the correct syntax is use typecasting for the conversation of a string to float as follows, copy. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's nice. The explanation from one of our participants in this training. So thanks Shumi Akhtar for your explanation about the syntax, PHP syntax. Okay, so we will move on to our slide, that is echo and print are not actually the same because echo is more faster than the print statement. Okay, so the PHP echo statement, the echo statement can be used with or without parentheses echo or echo bracket. So to display text, what we are going to do, the following example shows how to output text with the echo command. So notice that the text can contain HTML markup. Okay, so first of all, we have to write down the HTML tag, then HTML, then body tag, then IDOC tag. IDOC tag you have to put at the very beginning, then HTML tag, then body tag. So inside the body tag, we will code for the PHP. So here we have the here you can see PHP is fun. So to display this one is actually holding the heading two declaration. So heading two tag. So first of all, in echo, I want to display this one in a heading two tag. So heading two. So after the echo, then inside the quotation, you will quote for the PHP is fun. Then in the next line you will write down the hello world, and then you write down the beer tag, that is the break tag, to go to the next line. Then in the next line, I want to display this string was made with multiple parameters. So here I can display this line into part by part, like here I'm about to learn PHP. So this is the another output of the PHP I'm about to learn. Then the next line, you can see you can write down your text into separate statement, like in the quotation, first quotation this, second quotation string, or third quotation was, fourth quotation made with multiple parameters is the another quotation. So you can declare your value into separate word also can. So this is how the PHP echo can work for displaying the output. So, and then you must have to put the closing tag for body and closing tag for HTML. So echo is the most important part to display the output, because without insert the echo, you cannot display your PHP. Okay, now the PHP database. So with PHP, you can connect to and manipulate databases, and MySQL is the most popular database that system used with PHP. So what is actually MySQL? Before we go to our database, creating the database, we first have to know about the MySQL. So MySQL is actually database system that used on a web, and MySQL is a database system that runs on a server, and it's ideal for both small and large applications. And MySQL is very first, reliable, and easy to use. And MySQL uses standard SQL and compiles on a numbers of platforms, and it's free to download and use. And MySQL is developed and distributed and supported by Oracle Corporation. The data, okay. So the data in a MySQL database are stored in a table, basically. So basically in PHP, while we do the MySQL for our database in PHP, the database will be stored in a table, and a table is a collection of related data, and it contains of columns and rows. So column and rows will be there also in the MySQL database. And databases are useful for storing information categorically, and many companies have a database with the following tables, like employees, products categories, customers table, order table. So different types of product, or different types of topic, or different types of categories a company will use for to store their data. Okay, so now we will talk about the PHP connect to MySQL. So how we can connect our PHP into MySQL. So first of all, open a connecting to MySQL. Later on, I will show you. And before we can access data in MySQL database, we need to able to connect to the server. That is the local host that we call localhost. You must have to run the localhost into your device. So for this, first of all, you need to write down a PHP tag. So inside the PHP tag, your local host. So here, the local host variable is the server name. Username variable is the username. Passwords variable is the password. So dollar is actually the variable of the PHP. So here, so so here the dollar password is the variable for the password. And then we have to check the connection. I'm sorry for the sound. So maybe, I'm sorry for the sound. Maybe there will be some sound during this training. Okay, so then we have to check the connection. Then we have to check the connection. Before check the connection, we have to create the connection, and we have to create the table column. Then you have to input all the variable in the connection. So to create this one, so what you have to do, then you have to create the $con, that is the dollar connection. Then you put the new MySQLi. Then inside the bracket, inside the bracket, you will put all the variable that the column you have created in your PHP table. You have to put there. Then you have to go to check the connection. To check the connection, you have to put the if and else. So if the connection error, then it will show the connection failed. So for this code is this one. So this one is to displaying the connection error. And then echo, that is for the connection. If the connection is right, then it will display the connected successfully. So this is the declaration. This is the declaration or codes to display the output of the system. So it basically will say the connection is failed or not. So basically this is how we have to code. Okay, now the connection. So here, first of all, you have to go to the PHP myadmin that I have showed to you in at the beginning of our training session. So PHP database, PHP myadmin is basically the local host. Basically the local host to display or to store the database. So first, later on I will show you. First of all, what you have to do, you go to create first, to new database. To create a new database, you click on the new, then it will show like this, create database. Then you put your preferable name on the database, then you click on the create. After that, the database will be created for that name, by that name. Then after that, that will ask you to name for the create table, to name for table. Then you can put here how many column you want to display. How many column you want to display, you just write down there. If you want to create 5 column, then you have to create 5. Then you have to put 5. If you want to create 6 column, then you have to put 6. So like this. And then you have to click on the go. After that, the database will be created like this. So this is actually before creating the database, you have to do this. So this is for the column name, column declaration. So here we have the name, we have the email, we have the number, we have the message. So here is actually 4 table, 4 column, and ID is actually the primary key. ID is actually primary key. So we have basically this one. we have basically this one, name, email, phone number, and message. So basically what we are going to do, we are going to create this database for contact us form. So for this, what you have to do, you have to go to the localhost, that is localhost PHP myadmin. Then you click on to new, then you name your database, then you create. So like here, I want to create contact, this one, create. After that, I want to name contact form. Okay, so here I put 5 column. Okay, so now you have to input your content, like here your full name, right? So full name, so you just put here where it's gone, the name, then here email, so email, then here phone number, then message. Oh, sorry. So here you have to put the ID. This is for the primary key. This is for the primary key. So first of all, you have to put the ID as a primary key, then name, then email, then phone number, then message. Then you will save this one. Then it will store the data in your PHP myadmin XAMPP file. So this is the file. Most you have to check that your XAMPP, that is XAMPP, that is for the MySQL database, have you must have to start these two options. There is so many options, so you just choose the Apache and the MySQL. Without this one, you cannot display or you cannot create your database. So this is how. Then you click on the save, then the database will be stored like this. Okay, so here we have contact us. Then so later on I will show you. So now we will go to our okay, now we will go to our text editor, that is the Visual Code Studio. So here I am going to do the PHP file for the database. Okay, so we are going to do this database, this PHP database design, and this will output like this. This will display the output like this. So what have to do? We just here I already created a file for the PHP database. So here this is the contact.html. This is to display this one. This is to design this contact us form. Then okay, so this is contact.php is for the PHP file, is for the PHP code to design the database, to create the database. So now I already code for the contact.html. This is the coding for the contact.html. So basically you have to remember that you set the connection, that contact.php, and then set the post option, post method in your form action. Because if you do not put the PHP connection into your HTML file, then your HTML or your PHP database will not connect it to the HTML and will not display into your web browser. So you must remember that you have to put the connection for the PHP file, and then you post, because you want to post this HTML content into the MySQL web server, to store your database. So you must remember this. Then you have to create a div. Then you have to create for every column level. You have to create the level. You have to input for the name. You have to input for the email, like type, class, and ID. You have to create the ID for the number, phone number. You have to create the message for the message. You have to put the submit option. For this, you will have to use the BTN, that is BTN primary, that is for the submit button. So this is actually the simple HTML code. So now the most important part is the contact.php. So this is what we have to code here to display this one. Okay, so to display this one we have to code in here. Okay, so first of all, what we have to do? First of all, we will create a PHP tag. So now I'm going to do a PHP tag. PHP tag. Okay, now we will declare the variable for the name. So here we will put the $sign, $name, then the post underscore, because I want to post this into a MySQL server, into a local host. That's why it's important to post your column, to post your variable into the MySQL server. So this is very important. So here, name inside the third bracket. Okay, inside the third bracket, we'll put the variable, that is name. So here we have the email, because we put their email. You remember the spelling, because you cannot mistake your spelling, otherwise it will show the error into your web browser. Then we have number. The last one is message. This is why we are going to do, because we want to create this file. So here, this is for the name, this is for the email, this is for the phone number, this is for the message. So that's why we have to create the PHP file or PHP database to store our database. So then we will, here you have to put the semicolon after every variable. Okay, then you will check the connection. So this is database connection. This is the comment. I already explained to you what is actually comment. So if you want to do any comment in your PHP file, then you have to put the /2/, then it will change the color into green. The text color will change into green. So that's actually for declaration, the comment. So then we will create the connection. To create the connection, we will put the dollar, then con, new MySQLi, then localhost, then the root name. Username is root actually, so that's why I put here root. Then password is blank, so for this we will leave it in blank. Password is blank, there is no password for the SQL, for the MySQL database, so that then our database name is contact. So you will write down your database name, then semicolon. Then we will check the connection. So if the connection is error, okay, so connect underscore error. If it shows the error, second bracket echo, it will display if the connection is error, then it will display the connection is error. Connect error. Then you put the semicolon. Then if it's connection, it will display connection failed. This is for displaying that connection is failed. Connect error. It will display the connect error. Okay. So else what else it will display the connection is successful. So now we will write down the else statement. Okay. Okay, this is for the connection error on error. So inside the prepare, we will have to insert all the column name, what your column name is actually. So you will put all the column name, insert into your table name. Your table name is like I put there contact us. Database name is contact, but the table name is contact us. So you will put the table name in here in the prepare option. So here we'll start another bracket for all the variable, for name, for email, for number, for message, for message. And then we'll put the values. Values means values is actually this one. So here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 values. So you put here 4 question mark, because this represents the variable. This represents the values of the name, email, number, and message. Okay. Then you put the semicolon, then this section is end. Bind. This is now here I am declaring the string or integer. I'm declaring the string and integer of this column. The name is it string or integer, email is it string or integer, number is it string or integer. So I'm now declaring the string and integer. So now here is name is actually string, email is a string, number is actually integer, then message is actually string. So I put here the string, and integer and string. So now I will declare the variable that is $name, then $email, then we have number variable, number variable, then we have message variable, then you closed it with the semicolon. Okay. So now we will execute this one. $stm. Now you are doing code for the execution to display. Okay, now echo statement will display. Echo is for displaying the output. Okay. Oh. Now echo registration successful. Okay, so here actually this is actually the basic. This is actually the basic of the PHP of the PHP file database. Database. This is how we can um, code for the database in PHP. So this is the PHP tag. So inside the PHP tag, we have to declare for the column all the column name, that is name, email, number, then message for the contact us from. This is for the coding for the contact us form. There's the simple coding. So it will display this. Okay. Localhost. So this one is actually we did the database for the by using PHP. So while you click on now here, you name, like here I put one of our participant name, like the Prathan, then Prathan email, like prathan@gmail.com. Now here is the random phone number. Now here is the message. Hi, this is Prathan. Now submit. After that, the registration successful will display. Now you simply go to your local host, then see that the Prathan ID has been successfully updated. Okay. So here you can see the Prathan. So I put the pratha@gmail.com. Then hi, this is Prathan. So here you can see that the database in our PHP database, the Prathan ID, Prathan email, phone number, and the message has been stored in the PHPMyAdmin database using the PHP. So this is how we can code for the PHP. This is how we can code for the PHP. So this is actually, that's all for today for the PHP module. Okay, so thanks everyone for being with me in this training session. Hopefully you have learned about the basic of PHP module.